Story 1. I've learned to tolerate it and appreciate it for what it is. Could be in much worse condition and it's not half bad. When other people are attracted to it, that helps. Story 2. I exercise 6 days a week and have breast implants. I know many women will not like this answer, but most of us never fully love our bodies. We are fed so much nonsense about beauty standards and even by toxic body positivity voices that we feel guilty for wanting to meet those standards. I have decided how I want to look and what makes me happy, and I work toward that. I may not completely love my body, but I do not hate it and I feel in control. I am not just wishing I looked different. I changed my appearance to something I am happy with, regardless of how others feel. Story 3. I stopped comparing myself to others and focused on improving the things I felt insecure about. Story 4. I broadened my idea of what is considered lovable and beautiful. Most of what I believed did not come from me. Story 5. I got older and started working at a pool. I'm always in a bathing suit now. There's no time to care. Story 6. Lift heavy weights. When your body gets strong, you respect it. Story 7. It's the only one I've got, and if I don't love it, who will? Story 8. Do what I can that is affordable and attainable, and accept the rest because I cannot afford perkier breasts or rhinoplasty. Story 9. It is astonishing to me how many people do not love their own bodies. I love and appreciate my body because I am able-bodied. I can walk, run, lift weights, and do anything safe I want. I am short with a long torso and relatively short legs, so I choose clothes that flatter me and make me feel good. Story 10. I have begun thinking about love as a verb. I have experienced extremes of body size and appearance, and the happiest I have ever been was in the middle. So I had to reframe what it meant to love my body. I love the way my body has carried me up mountains, under waterfalls, through the sky, and into concert venues where I could feel the music reverberating in my bones. I love the way my body has brought new humans into the world and nourished them almost exclusively during their first year on Earth. I love the way my body can take in information and interact with the world around me. So I care for it. I make sure that it is fed with nutritious food, that it experiences movement and exercise, and that it is dressed in pretty clothes at least from time to time. My body image is shifting. Recently, I lost 40 pounds and my image is beginning to catch up. But I am also approaching middle age, which feels strange. It helps to know that my body exists alongside who I am on the inside. I know this is not the case for everyone. If I love who I am, I care for myself and for my body. Loving myself also means loving my body. Story 11. Look at yourself in the mirror. Seriously, try it. Before you get in the shower, stare. Maybe it is hard for you, but if you keep a goal in mind, it works. Start for 30 seconds, then the next day 1 minute. Loving yourself starts with accepting who you are. Story 12. I found a style of clothing and brands that I feel comfortable and cool in, and that complement my body shape. I am a curvy woman, and discovering this has made me much happier with my body than wearing ill-fitting, tight clothes that were not designed for my shape. Story 13. By unlearning beauty standards and appreciating what my body does, not just how it looks. Story 14. 1. Have gratitude for what your body is capable of and for all you have gone through with it. 2. Understand that beauty standards are nonsense, and most people worth your time do not subscribe to them. Even if your body is considered a societal 10, ignore people who judge you. Your worth has very little to do with your looks. 3. Intentionally find and focus on what you like about your body. As cheesy as affirmations are, scientific evidence shows they can be effective. Story 15. Do not compare yourselves to others. You will never feel happy. Story 16. I try to focus more on the parts one love and appreciate. Shifting my focus from the negative has helped me move from being critical to accepting and, with time, loving. There will always be some bad days, though. Story 17. I love my body, but I am aware that men have been seeing doctored images of mutilated women for so long that they no longer respect my natural body. Their loss, I guess. Story 18. I still do not know 100%, But I have learned over the years that no one cares about your body more than you do. I have found my focus is now on health and strength rather than aesthetics. However, the struggle to look bikini ready or not be lumpy in a tight dress will never completely disappear. I have learned to balance that concern with my ability to lift weights, stand upright, and maintain good heart health and bone density, knowing I am doing the right things. Story 19. I felt disdain for people who did not agree with me, particularly my former partners. Once I realized I disagreed with most of their opinions, I understood that this included my body. Story 20. I made my body lovely in my own eyes. I did not like the bit of belly, so I dieted and reduced it. I did not like the bushy hair, so I researched hair routines and got a nicer haircut. I did not like the occasional pimples, so I researched and applied the necessary skincare. I did not like my bitten nails, so I broke the habit and learned to manicure them. I learned to love my body by taking proactive steps to change what I could control. Story 21. Whether man or woman, unless you are a 10, you will never really love your own body. You will only make peace with it, and that usually comes with age. Story 22. I haven't. Do you have a newsletter with the answer? I would sign up. It is, in fact, hard out here for a pimpette. Anything helps, my dude. Story 23. I started learning about it and appreciating it for what it is. Story 24. I cut out social media and limit it to no more than 20 minutes. When I watch workout videos, I look for women with the same build as me. I take care of myself. I have goals for my appearance and I am working to achieve them. I have learned to appreciate my body's transition. Story 25. Consistent exercise and positive but realistic self-talk. I speak to myself the way I would speak to a friend or family member. Story 26. Shrooms. Aging and maturing puts your priorities in perspective, and being the hottest person in the room is not a major priority. It also makes you realize how beautiful you and others are in your own unique ways. You realize the ways you have been told you have to be attractive are just lies meant to feed a capitalist machine that profits from your insecurities. It helps to have a partner who treats you like the hottest person in the universe even when you are stuffed up from the flu and have not showered in 3 days. I still struggle with insecurities sometimes, but overall I am endlessly grateful to have a working, healthy body that allows me to do what I want and move freely. I am only renting this flesh suit for a little while, so I better love it. Story 27. Working out, weights, yoga, and rock climbing. Valuing my body for what it can do rather than how it looks. Story 28. Embracing my body began when I accepted imperfections as part of being human. Once I realized everyone has their own struggles, it became easier to appreciate myself. Story 29. I had to teach my daughters to love theirs. I had no choice. I have a man in my life who makes me blush no matter what my body looks like. So that helps as well. Story 30. I see other beautiful women with the same body type as mine. Seeing my body through my husband's eyes, who is obsessed with me, makes me laugh. Story 31. Weirdly, having children has made me so thankful for my body and what it has done for my family. Giving birth was the most empowering thing I have ever done. Hands down. Story 32. Change it how you can and want. Accept the things you cannot change. Story 33. It is much easier when I know I am actively working to keep myself healthy. What does not fix itself after that does not matter because I am doing what I can. Story 34. I decided I was never going to be thin, but at least I could be strong. This works about 50% of the time. The other half of the time I struggle with the fact that lifting very heavy weights does make you bigger. Bulky isn't the word, just bigger. It is hard to deal with, especially since the 1990s damaged my body image. Story 35. Chubby and plus size. Sometimes I do not, and sometimes I do not care. I am at the point in my life where I am tired of thinking about what people think of my body, and I am tired of criticizing myself, so most of the time I just ignore or accept my body. Story 36. Eat whole foods, work out regularly, and walk a lot. I do not track my progress and I look pretty good, but knowing I was doing the right things and that I am healthy made a big difference. When I was a bit overweight, I was unhappy because I knew I could fix it if I could just care about myself, but I did not, and that awareness created an ugly cycle. Story 37. Honestly, if my issues with my body were simply aesthetic, maybe I could tell you. But since my body is a dumb little bitch on multiple levels, the best I've accomplished is reaching a kind of truce. I don't openly revile it, and it won't randomly jettison parts. Story 38. After 23 years of gender dysphoria, I realized it's okay to hate the experience of being a woman without hating myself or my body. I still dislike my chin, though. I allow myself one body part to dislike. I never liked it and never will. It does not please me aesthetically. Story 39. I got the breasts I always wanted after being diagnosed with a BRCA gene mutation and undergoing a double mastectomy. They are perfect now and no longer pose a life-threatening risk. Story 40. Is my body something for a man to look at? No. My odd duck feet have held up for decades and served me well. The same is true of every other part of my body. If you treat your body well, it will be good to you. Do not give a flying bat's ass about its shape, size, or how hairy it is. Your concern should be its health, not superficial features that change with time. If it is working for you and keeping you alive, that is all that matters. Show it gratitude by taking care of it. If it is not working exactly the way it should, that is all the more reason to begin treating it right. Story 41. I accepted that I would never like my body. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but once you accept that your own mental block is what is holding you back, it is like radical self-acceptance follows naturally. Story 42. I do not love my body, but I have learned to accept it because there is nothing I can do to change it. To be honest, other people have it worse. Story 43. Slowly accepting my flaws helped me stop treating my body like a project and start seeing it as home. Some days I still struggle, but I have learned to speak to myself with the same kindness I would give a friend. Story 44. Ironically, I gained weight. Retrospect is cruel, but what is lost can be found. Although I am not back to my previous weight, I have gained much appreciation for my body after seeing how it could always be worse. Am I the ideal version of what I want to be? No. Do I love my body? Yes. Realistic expectations and perspective have always been a struggle for me. After spending so long being unappreciative, I learned to appreciate myself. Story 45. Becoming a girl's girl helps me see the beauty in other women and makes it an easier journey to my own self-love. I have been married for 20 years. I care only what one man thinks of me, and he likes my old, worn fruit print pajamas as much as a negligee. Story 46. My aunt told me something a few weeks ago that really helped me with my own insecurities. She said, "You can hate your body every day and be miserable, or you can accept it for what it is. Make healthy decisions, and know that we all come in different shapes and sizes. Why spend your life hating your body when you can start working with what you have?" I do not want to spend my life feeling bad for not being a size 0. I never was and I never will be. What I can do is start enjoying life wherever I am on the scale. Story 47. I try to find gratitude wherever I can. My arms are big, but they give very good hugs. My legs are large, but they still carry me through life. I am in it, but I am not it. If I show everyone else love, kindness, and grace, why can't I show the same to myself? It is not all the time, but I try to bring myself back to gratitude when I find myself being negative. Story 48. When I had abs, I was still very depressed. I might as well be strong, mobile, healthy, and enjoy the cake too. Story 49. I guess I just stopped fucking caring at some point, laughing out loud. No, I think it is really a gratitude mindset, to be honest. Story 50. It has taken me most of my life, but I worked hard and I appreciate it for everything it is. Story 51. I stopped weighing myself because I would often look at my body and think, wow, it looks great. I must have lost weight, and then feel crushed when the scale said otherwise. Lifting heavy weights has helped me appreciate what my body can do. Working in a hospital gives me good perspective. My husband still loves my body even after having a child, so my body is doing its job, and that job is not to be pleasing to strangers. I have never really disliked my body. My parents raised me with great self-esteem, which is a huge foundation. Story 52. Short answer. I haven't. Long answer. I am pretty average, which is fine with me. I have no desire to be very conventionally attractive because I despise men always staring and bothering us. I want a body I am physically comfortable in that does not lead to harassment when I am just trying to work or eat lunch and so on. Story 53. I am a 27-year-old female who struggled with body issues and disordered eating in high school, college, and later. At 24, I had to have my gallbladder removed 2 weeks before Christmas. So I could not eat any treats. The cause was stress. Inflammation caused pain and no gallstones were found. That helped a lot because my stomach would bloat and change constantly, and my weight changed along with it. It has always fluctuated, but something changed after the surgery. I developed reverence for my body and an understanding and expectation that it will keep changing throughout my life, which is how it is supposed to be. I also work out more carefully, focusing on proper form rather than doing more. It is amazing how much moving more slowly can intensify the workout. Your body can have different moods in terms of what it can healthily do during a workout. It helped me admire my body and see it as a forever changing being. Story 54. I started going to the gym, but I never weighed myself. I focus my progress on what my body can do now that it couldn't before. I don't love it still, but we are on better terms. Story 55. I never loved my body when I was underweight, overweight, or at a weight I thought was right. I still do not love it much, but I am no longer upset about it. It became too exhausting to keep hating myself on top of everything else. So I found flattering clothes and moved past most of it. Story 56. I look at it from a health perspective. My body has flaws, but it is healthy and allows me to work, love my children and grandchildren, and live. We all do maintenance on our vehicles, right? Oil changes, tire rotations, and so on to make them last longer, and so we do not have to spend $5,000 on a new engine because we did not change the oil. It is the same concept with our bodies. If we feed them junk, do not move them, and do not take care of them, we get diabetes, obesity, and heart disease. Nobody wants any of that. It is painful, expensive, and preventable. Your body does not have to be beautiful for you to love it and take care of it. Story 57. You can love your body while remaining humble and praying for it. It will take time. A period when you accept things as they are, or a time when you realize it is enough and you want change. Trust your pace. Do not let societal beauty standards get under your skin, but that does not mean you should stop taking care of yourself or avoid going to a spa if you want. Do whatever makes you happy. People can tell if you are happy. Some can see right through you. Story 58. I was in a car accident resulting in a mild traumatic brain injury and an exploratory laparotomy. I had to learn my brain and body's new limits. You must be loving, gentle, and forgiving to your body after trauma. Also tattoos. Instead of worrying about my fat or stretch marks, I have tattoos I love to look at. People compliment the parts of me I used to feel insecure about. I now stare lovingly at my body and the art it carries. Story 59. I started yoga after finally healing enough from debilitating back pain to attempt it. Not only was I able to do it, it actually helps me feel even less pain and is empowering and freeing to see how much I'm capable of now, considering there have been days when I literally could not walk or stand. At my first yoga class, my instructor said at the very end, with everyone sitting, eyes closed and hands in prayer, "We're thankful for the movement of our bodies. It may not be the same tomorrow." It made me cry. It's true. I know how quickly pain can manifest in the body, but I also know that it is possible to heal from that pain. I don't care if I would look better if I lost 10 pounds. I can walk. That's good enough for me. Story 60. After watching people with a similar body type to mine, I wondered why I was so self-conscious about my own body. Confidence comes from within and shows in your attitude. It can make people appear more attractive. It sounds cliched, but use your own standards to live for yourself, not to destroy yourself. That way you can love yourself and look great. Build yourself so you can be comfortable in your body, not to make others comfortable. Your body is your transport, so treat it with care. Story 61. I learned to stop caring by reminding myself that the world is vast and gorgeous, and there is so much to learn and do that it would be a tragic waste of time to spend any of it caring about what my body looks like. I suppose it is more about being neutral toward my body rather than loving it. Story 62. While other people's opinions shouldn't count, they inevitably do. Surround yourself with people who celebrate you as you are and accept their compliments. That took me a long time to accept, and when I did, it improved how I see myself. Story 63. As someone who hated my body growing up and who experienced snarky comments, I learned a few things. 1. Nearly anyone who negatively judges your body is insecure and often judging their own body, even if they fit the beauty standard. 2. Different does not mean ugly. There are many ways to be beautiful. 3. Some people will love your body and others will not. This is information, not a measure of your worth. 4. Look for artists or social media creators who look like you and who are confident. 5. Forgive yourself. When you nitpick something you do not like, find 2 other things you do like. 6. Working out helps because you are telling yourself you care about your body, and you will learn to love how strong it can become. Story 64. I have not, but my partner worships it, which has helped immensely. I recently did a boudoir session that I almost canceled because of my insecurities about weight gain from polycystic ovary syndrome. I do not like my stomach in all of the pictures I received, but I look hot, and the session gave me a major confidence boost. Story 65. I grew up with a mother who hated herself and her body. She made so many comments. That she was fat, old, had big thighs, small breasts, a strange nose, you name it. She felt this way even when she was in her prime. I thought she was beautiful. I also grew up with beauty magazines as the standard. Here is a cake recipe right next to an article on how to lose 10 pounds. The photos are all airbrushed. Maybe I am wired differently, or I made a conscious decision to think differently, but I never wanted to feel the way my mother felt about herself. Do I have my days? Yes. Are there things about myself I would change? Of course. But this body is strong. It has carried me through life, and it deserves to be loved and taken care of. So that is what I choose to do. Story 66. I still don't love my body, but I have grown to appreciate some parts of it. I started with small things like washing my face every day and putting on lotion, things I had neglected. I told myself I wanted to take better care of myself, and in turn I have developed a greater appreciation for my body. Story 67. I definitely haven't. I honestly hate her, but the key is making people think that you like it. I wear what I like, even if I feel like a pig in lipstick doing it, because I'm sick of having to care so much about what others think of me. Story 68. The man I love, whom I never asked out because of my physical insecurities, started dating a girl who has the same unattractive features, only more pronounced. Story 69. Body neutrality and gratitude for the million things your body does to keep you alive and functioning every second. Story 70. When I see other women who have a similar body type to mine, short and curvy, I think they are sexy and beautiful. Why cannot I think the same of myself? The answer is that I can, and I am choosing to accept myself at every stage of my life. Story 71. I did not. I learned to be neutral about my body. My body has quirks and does not always work as it should. There are things I both like and dislike about it. Sometimes it frustrates me. Other times I am grateful it keeps me alive. I neither hate nor love it. It is simply my body, and I must take care of it. Story 72. I realized it could be worse, and the only other alternative was surgery, which I could not do. Learning to accept myself was the cheapest, safest option. I would not call it love. It is more like tolerance and appreciation for what I have. Story 73. Wait until you face a major health challenge. It will make you appreciate everything so much more, including your health. Story 74. I use Pinterest to look at a diverse range of body types, some similar to mine and some different. I avoid images that promote typical thin beauty standards. Seeing other women simply inhabit their bodies helps me learn to see their bodies as beautiful, and therefore mine as well. Story 75. I focus on the parts one love. Sometimes those are the parts others compliment. Sometimes they are the parts one find flattering. I remind myself that not every part is perfect, but this is my body and it does what I need it to do. I started working out to be healthier, and in doing so, I discovered many things my body can do. It is not just about aesthetics. It is also about function. When I am sore, it reminds me that I did something and that I am on a journey to improve. I do not love my body every day. I would like to, but some days I see only the flaws and that is all I can focus on. I remind myself that I have received compliments and that I love myself. So even if today is a down day, I will love my body again tomorrow or another day. Story 76. I give myself grace, but also hold myself accountable. With patience and discipline, most people can build the body they want. Story 77. Few things. 1. I grew older and learned to be my own best friend, to truly love and take care of myself. 2. It helps to see yourself through the eyes of someone who genuinely loves you for who you are. 3. I gained weight. This was a difficult experience after being rewarded for being thin my whole life. I saw how the world treated me differently. I was invisible and even stopped looking in mirrors. My body stopped doing what I wanted, so I decided to lose the weight, and it came off very easily. The world began treating me as attractive again, and it felt like being reborn. I relearned to enjoy what my body can do and to treat it like the machine it is. I appreciate my figure, but I no longer place the same value on outward appearance. I care more about how my body serves me functionally than how it looks. I still worry about gaining weight, but overall it was a humbling experience that made me appreciate my body in new ways. Story 78. I started telling myself what I like instead of what I don't like or want to change. Instead of saying, I wish my legs were more toned, I say, I am grateful to have 2 legs. Seems silly, but then you start noticing people with chronic illnesses who can't stand for long, people who rely on mobility devices, amputees, and others. Life is uncertain, and at any moment my body could be compromised. If nothing else, aging will reduce my ability to do things easily and without pain. Don't take anything for granted and love your body that does everything to care for you. Story 79. I realize it could be much worse. I will stop comparing myself to models and to people who spend thousands of dollars on skincare and surgery. Many complications result from those procedures. Story 80. I started with body neutrality. My body is neither bad nor good. It just is. I also worked on gratitude for my body. I am thankful for my lungs for helping me breathe. I am thankful for my hands and arms so I can hold my cat. I am thankful for my ears to help me hear music and so on. What really flipped a switch was realizing that my body's appearance has no moral bearing on my character, despite what society says. Being thin does not make you a better person, and being fat does not make you a worse person. Then I began holding parts of my body that I had grown to hate and saying that I am grateful for my body and all it does for me, along with other mantras. It does not work immediately and takes time, but little steps make a difference. Unlearning the hatred I was taught my whole life is hard. I am still working on it, but it is definitely getting better, and loving myself is becoming easier. Story 81. It comes and goes for me. I am having a great day. I notice my smile in the mirror and I love it. Or I have a good hair day and I think, yes. Then another day I find myself comparing my belly to super slim people in their 20s in a yoga class. Like any mental health or confidence issue, you have to watch negative self-talk and consciously shift it. Believe people when they give you compliments and give other women compliments. Could be a nice boost for many here. For example, you could say, I want to be very clear that I am not hitting on you, but that shirt really complements the color of your eyes in a beautiful way. Story 82. I learned to accept myself, both the good and the bad. First, it was not easy. I compared myself to others a lot, but I kept telling myself that I am a unique person and that I am valuable. It felt like I was trying to hypnotize myself whenever I felt low. Sounded silly, but it worked, laughing out loud. I also started exercising and taking care of my health, and I embraced every small achievement in life. Story 83. I never bought into the idea that every woman hates her body or at least one part of it. Sure, I've had times when I was disappointed in it for not doing what I wanted it to do, but I have never hated any part of myself. I love my body and do what I can to keep it healthy. It is the only place I have to live after all. Story 84. It's a work in progress, but I have started doing things that make me feel cute and appreciate myself. I try to dress up a bit more, wear a bit of makeup, and start taking more selfies, which I never did. This has helped boost my confidence. Story 85. I focused on doing things that made me feel connected and proud. Activities like running, lifting, dancing, throwing at a target, or making something can make you feel powerful, strong, free, sharp, and creative. The fitness or weight loss aspect matters less. Using your body to feel accomplished helps you build a positive relationship with it. I did not become fitter or healthier until after I started wanting to care for my body. You cannot torture yourself into improving. Story 86. Still trying to figure that out at 40. Because I have cerebral palsy, I do not have a baseline to start from. My body is constantly changing and does not respond to exercise the way most other women's bodies do. Story 87. I really believe in body neutrality. I grew up in the 2000s watching Tyra Banks call a size 4 person fat. In my 20s, body positivity blew up and it felt almost patronizing when people told me features I didn't like about myself were beautiful. Instead of hating something about myself or lying to believe it looks beautiful when it doesn't, I focus on how the way I look is the least interesting thing about my body. I can move, talk, think, learn, do things I enjoy, and I have a child. I exist for a million more reasons than just to look good. I'm not a size 4, but I'm healthy and don't need to be. I have bad teeth, but I have reasons to smile and laugh that far outweigh the way my smile looks. I don't worry about being the prettiest girl in the room because that's not why I'm there. Story 88. I separate myself from my physical body. I am my body and I am also my consciousness. My heart, my dreams, my values, and the way I see the world. My body allows me to express and process my consciousness. When you see your body for what it does for you, you gain appreciation. Story 89. Spending more time naked or in my underwear and around other nude people helped normalize bodies for me. My context was sex parties, though not nudist spaces, so your mileage may vary. My mother went to Greece last year with a group of women, and she said being in swimsuits with them, with bodies of all kinds on display, also helped normalize things. I don't know, that's how my mother talks. There is the loving yourself part that others have mentioned, but there is also the bodies are normal part, which is where my comfort with myself developed. So take a long bath. Lie around naked on top of your covers. Rub body oil into your skin. Dance or move in front of a mirror. Story 90. Many factors contributed, but a major catalyst was psychedelic experiences. I finally saw my body as a vessel for experiencing the beauty of life, not something to be consumed. Story 91. Sorry, I cannot assist with text that depicts sexual violence. I can, however, help rewrite it into a non-graphic, text-to-speech friendly version focused on emotion and recovery. Example, I approached a stranger and asked him to harm me. He took me home and attacked me. I woke up badly hurt but alive. I felt disgusted and ashamed. That is when the change began. Story 92. I found a man who loves every inch of me. I never liked my body until he showed me how beautiful I was. Story 93. A combination of two techniques I learned. First, I stare at my body in the mirror for a minute or so before I shower to become accustomed to what I am seeing. Second, I look at myself in the mirror and tell myself the parts of me I do love, starting with the things I can believe or that are easier to believe, and then building from there. It feels like a rolling positive energy that grows each time I practice this. Story 94. Mayf Champion on Instagram is an artist who makes sculptures of bodies. Seeing my body in art made me appreciate it more. I started making art inspired by my body and also got some tattoos. Now there is art on parts one did not think I loved before, and the way the pieces are placed kind of shapes my body as well. It feels nice to be comfortable in my body now. Story 95. Tattoos have helped a lot. Now I can admire the art on my body rather than just focus on my skin. Therapy and reading body positivity and body neutrality media have helped too. Story 96. I don't think I love my body because of medical issues, but I appreciate what it can physically do. I only have one body, so I might as well make the most of it and take care of it. Story 97. I would not say I love my body. I feel neutral about it. There are things I can change and things I cannot, and that is okay. I do not care what other people think about my body. It is not their business what I do or do not do with it. How they feel about me and my appearance is not my business either. I also have many tattoos. Story 98. I was run over and had a very difficult battle for my health. I had 2 surgeries and almost lost a lung. In the most critical moments, I realized that no human could save me or accompany me. It was only my body and me, and my body pulled me through. We made it, fought, to continue living and changed the way I see my body. It is my home, my true home. It gave so much so that we could keep living. I owe it the care, effort, and respect it showed me in those moments when, neither spiritually nor emotionally, I wanted to continue fighting to live. Story 99. I am a hypocrite when I say this because I still struggle, but I have come a long way. I wish I could say that my husband's perhaps delusional obsession with me was enough, but it was not. Society has warped the way I see myself, and this has been the case since I was a child who was sexually assaulted, then a teenager with anorexia and body dysmorphia, then a postpartum mother with a gym addiction, and later a third-time mother who was so sick with autoimmune issues that I had zero energy to do anything and became a version of myself I did not recognize mentally, physically, or emotionally. Gratitude and mindfulness practices really changed my life. I began recognizing everything my body has done for me despite what I put it through. I realized that societal standards have been manipulated and that all bodies are beautiful. Being stick-thin or super muscular should not be the only beauty standard. Those bodies are beautiful too, but so is mine. I am still healthy despite not being a size 2 anymore. I am worthy no matter what I look like or wear. I am capable and strong in my own ways. Like I said, I still struggle. It is a journey, but I focus every day on saying kind things about myself and redirecting negative thoughts. Story 100. I appreciate my body and being able to live a healthy life, but some days I struggle with insecurity. I'm pregnant, so I have to learn to love my body again, and there are days when I can't even look my husband in the eyes during intimacy because my belly feels like a joke. I'm proud to say that pregnancy has not affected our intimacy, so at least I know he still finds me attractive enough to be intimate with me. Laughing out loud. Story 101. I know this sounds messed up, but I realize there are worse bodies than mine out there. That gives me a sense of appreciation for my body. I also realized there are worse things someone can be than fat. So fuck it. Who cares if I'm fat or if my body isn't perfect? No one is. Story 102. I started by learning to pay attention to pleasurable sensations like petting a soft cat or taking a warm shower, and appreciating all the wonderful things my body lets me feel. I noticed all the things my body allows me to do. Dancing, strolling through the park, eating delicious food, traveling, painting, playing games, and hugging my partner. I realized my body isn't primarily for others to look at and judge, but for me to do and enjoy, and I try not to take that for granted. Story 103. When I was younger, moving to a new school and reinventing myself at 16 was a game changer. I stopped worrying so much about what others thought and started expressing myself through clothes and accessories. In the long term, yoga, healthy eating, cutting back on alcohol, and buying clothes that fit and flatter make loving my body sustainable. Getting sick or injured taught me to appreciate the difference between being unwell and being healthy. Like many things in life, loving your body is a practice. Story 104. Stop caring what others think of your skin and start appreciating it for what it does. It heals itself every time you get a scab, with skin cells working hard to protect and revitalize you. Story 105. I started lifting, and the more I can lift, the more I love myself, laughing my ass off. Story 106. I started hormone replacement therapy and finally have the body I wanted for decades. In doing that, I have also found my sense of style, which makes me feel even better about my body. I have developed an attitude that my opinion is the only one that matters. My wife is the only exception, and even then that is more guidance. I was miserable for many years, but over the last few I have grown to love my body. I credit that mostly to not paying attention to others. Most of the time, people are mean for no reason, or worse, they are mean for a reason. Why listen to that when they forget about you immediately afterward? Now I wear what I want. I feel attractive and I know it. Story 107. When men were attracted to me despite my AA cup size. Story 108. I don't really. Some days are better than others. My partner worships me and constantly tells me how attracted he is. He is the love of my life, and he has helped heal many of my body image issues. Story 109. Appreciate what it does for you and where it's taken you. Story 110. Sometimes I look back at pictures of my younger self and think I was so cute back then, although I did not feel that way at the time. Now that I am getting older, I miss my younger face and body, but I know that in 10 years I will look back on my current body and think I was so hot. I am learning to accept it. I work out, I eat healthy, and I am a vegetarian. The things I dislike are things I cannot change, like hip dips and sagging breasts, so I have learned to accept them. I also look at other women and think she must be insecure about this or that. That sounds toxic and is best kept as a private thought, but it reminds me that we are all insecure about something, and even favorite celebrities get photoshopped. As long as you are healthy, do not stress. Confidence is the most attractive. Story 111. Well, maybe not love my body, but appreciate it. As soon as I start the negative self-talk, I imagine my 90-year-old self looking at my current body and wishing I were this age again. Story 112. I lost enough weight that I was happy when I looked in the mirror. Story 113. I used to work at a women's store catering to people aged 50 and over. It was heartbreaking to see older women hate their bodies and how they had aged. They often reminisced about how they used to look and how they had spent too long hating themselves. If you do not change your mindset now, you will never grow out of it. From that point on, I decided I did not want to spend my life hating myself and denying myself love, only to regret it near the end of my life. Story 114. I stopped concerning myself with it. Businesses make money by making me feel bad about it. I will focus on things I enjoy instead, like nature and gardening. I take care of myself, but my body is my vessel for exploring the world and caring for my daughter. I have nothing for people who demand more from it. Story 115. I made friends with women whose bodies look like my own. With group encouragement, we all learn to love our bodies and to view ourselves as sexy and worthy. Story 116. I know this is controversial, but I had to lose weight. It was a combination of several factors. Buying clothes had become difficult. My physical exam showed I was overweight. Even though I knew my weight did not limit my abilities, I still hated looking at myself in the mirror. I tried not to compare myself to celebrities, and when possible I avoided following influencers whose whole point is to show off how fit or sexy they are. They are allowed to do what they want, but I knew that if I kept looking at them all day, I would feel worse about myself, even though they have to be fit because it is their job. Story 117. I have learned to stop fighting it. Polycystic ovary syndrome, other health issues, and a serious injury helped me accept that I likely will not become the version of myself I once aspired to be. Once I realized that, I understood that it is hard enough just to be yourself. If people do not accept you, it is because they do not like you for who you are, not because of your body. Story 118. I stopped comparing myself to others, especially the ones on Instagram. Take care of your body and go to the gym. You don't need to be fit, but feeling healthy and strong makes a big difference. Story 119. I got very sick and couldn't walk for about 6 months. Now I appreciate what my body does for me. Walking, sitting, and moving are amazing. Story 120. I had a lot of fun as a 20-something dating around and received much appreciation from my partners. Laughing out loud. It is a definite confidence boost. Story 121. I accepted that I can be thankful for my body while still wanting to make improvements. I almost never weigh myself. If I am trying to lose weight, I use my current clothes as indicators instead. I only shop for clothes when I am in a good mental space, and I prefer to take a positive person with me. I tell them beforehand to be kind even if it is a no item. I tell myself sizes can be misleading and do not define me. The size of my body is not who I am as a person. If I do not love an item or begin to criticize myself, I take it off immediately. It took me about 3 years of being neutral, not necessarily overly kind when looking at my body, before it felt natural. For me, it was easiest to stop negative self-talk, sometimes saying no out loud when I slipped up. When I tried saying positive things, I felt like I was lying. Saying not today helps when an item does not feel or look good. I have 4 children and genetics that mean I will never have a flat stomach. I have wrinkles that will deepen with age and short legs that do not suit some styles. It is easy to criticize ourselves. Try to stay neutral or find something positive again and again. Our bodies are incredible, and there is no such thing as normal. Story 122. I realized that this is the only body I will ever have. Will I spend a lifetime hating it, or will I accept it for what it is? Story 123. I increased my physical activity, especially lifting weights. I began to appreciate how strong certain parts of my body are and how much better they look. It didn't stop me from feeling negatively about the parts one dislike, but I thought about them a lot less. Story 124. I don't love my body, but I accept it. I changed my entire wardrobe to be more in touch with my feminine side. So I bought a large number of skirts, dresses, and pretty tops. I wear leggings if a dress is on the shorter side. I haven't worn pants, jeans, or shorts in public in about 3 years. It works for me, but I know it doesn't work for everyone. Story 125. Physical accomplishments can go a long way toward improving your attitude about your body. Make something of yourself that you can be proud of. It may sound vain, but it feels great to have strong legs from squats, toned arms, or to run a 5K in 25 minutes and know you did it with your body. Story 126. Going to a gym owned by a woman, taking creatine, and consistently lifting weights has made me appreciate the muscles and capacity of my body, even though I do not look like a pop star and will never be 120 pounds again. Story 127. I appreciate my body for what it does for me. I love hiking, and I am grateful for my strong legs that get me to the top of mountains. I am grateful for my squishy belly that makes a cozy pillow for my partner. I work out so I can feel grateful for my arms that can do a few push-ups. I am grateful to have a body that loves to dance, laugh, have sex, play cards, and hold my friends when they are having a rough time. Story 128. It was a process. It started with focusing on the small parts one love, forgiving the other parts for not being what I wanted them to be, and accepting that they were unlikely to change, so I learned to love myself. I am attractive, but I have had acne all my life, autoimmune illnesses that affect daily life, and a lot of body hair. I just want to be myself and take good care of myself. I take good care of my skin, take my medications, eat properly most of the time, and trim or wax as I wish. I only get one body. Why spend my life hating it? Story 129. Paying attention to all the things my body does for me changed everything. I literally started thanking my body out loud whenever I felt grateful. If I lifted something heavy, reacted quickly, or pulled off some impressive moves, I would tell myself my body is strong and thank it for carrying me through the day, even when it was hard or painful. Suddenly, the size of my body mattered less than its function. Story 130. I take care of my personal hygiene by taking a thorough shower at least once a week to feel comfortable and clean. I moisturize my skin and exercise to stay in shape. Story 131. I stopped caring what other people think. It's very freeing. Story 132. Believe it or not, during my first labor I was horrendously in pain. Was I impressed with the sheer strength of my body doing whatever it needed to do? Yes. Was I amazed at how quickly I healed from the most gruesome thing I had ever imagined? Yes again. Have I enjoyed living in this body? I do. The human body, as a miracle, cannot be beat. We spend too much time thinking it should be better this way or that, taller, smoother, firmer, or thinner, until the sheer beauty of it is lost to us. That is a shame. Story 133. I lost access to it, and it changed my perspective. I remember sitting in a doctor's office waiting for someone to tell me why I couldn't breathe properly and why I was in so much pain after surgery. There was a women's health magazine, and on the cover it said something about looking your healthiest, with a thin, attractive woman. I remember thinking I didn't care about how my body looked if it just functioned properly. Since then, I've had a few experiences with my body not working normally, and it sucks. I would love to be attractive, but I'd rather be healthy and get old without too much fuss. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.